So at the top of our 135, we have 12 listings. That's our goal. That's our one goal for the first 12 weeks of 2021. I'm going to take 12 seller listings in the first 12 weeks. I have 3 priorities that I'm going to follow in order to do that, which are prospect, market, and work my database for repeat and referral business. And then underneath each of those 3 priorities, I have 5 strategies. These are the activities that we're going to track daily, weekly, and monthly in order to hit our one goal, which is 12 listings taken in the first 12 weeks. Now, remember, these are non-negotiable goals. These are non-negotiable activities. So for example, under prospect, I have 20 contacts or 20 conversations. I could have 5 face-to-face appointments. I could have 5 new 36 touch smart plans in order to communicate with everyone that I am calling, all of those for sell by owners and expired, so that I am systematically following up with them in order to create emotional proximity. One of my activities could be to send out 5 personal notes every day. And another strategy that I could enter here would be to follow up and follow up forever in order to create emotional proximity. Now, there's my 135, very rough, right? For taking 12 listings in the first 12 weeks of 2021, focusing on the first priority, which is I'm going to prospect for sell by owners and expireds. I'm going to prospect around circle prospecting and door knocking in order to hit my goal of 12 listings taken. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Cool. So then we're going to stop share and I'm going to go to the 12-week year. Let me get off my iPad here first. And let's take a look at what the author of the 12-week year has to say about this. And we're going to talk, I'm going to share from 3 different books with you this morning on this subject. The first one is the 12-week year. Then we're going to go to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent and see what Gary Keller has to say. And then we're going to go to the Traveler's Gift and see what Andy Andrews has to say. And it's going to be fun to see how we can combine these 3 incredible books to this one conversation. All right, top of page 91, titled Game Changer. Living your life in the moment can be done in 2 very different ways, either reactively or proactively. If you, hold on one second, guys. Yikes, lost my place. What page should I say I was on? 91, I think.
91.
Thank you for that. Okay, so either reactively or proactively. So if I don't have a plan ahead of time, it's going to be reactively, right? If I don't have that 135 ahead of time, then I am living my day reactively. In other words, I don't know what my 5 strategies are ahead of time. Therefore, I am reacting in the moment. When my phone rings, I'm going to answer it because I don't have a plan to overcome obstacles, and I'm going to react as the day goes because I'm not clearly focused on what needs to happen today in order to move me closer to my goal of taking 12 listings in the first 12 weeks. If you are reactive in the moment, you risk taking actions, the wrong actions, because the primary drivers of your actions are input triggers. The phone rings, the email dings, a new task appears, someone knocks on your door, and off you go. It is difficult in the moment to know. It is difficult in the moment to know what your highest value activities are, because you are typically not choosing between good activities and bad activities. You are choosing between higher value and lower value activities. And that ranking often isn't clear in the moment. With an action-based plan, you don't have to rely on input triggers to initiate your actions. Instead, your plan triggers your actions. Your action choices are made proactively at the beginning of the 12 weeks when you create your plan. In short, a 12-week plan helps you get more of the right things done each day, and ultimately it helps you reach your goals faster and with greater impact. Now, I went to Gary Keller and I thought, okay, what would Gary Keller have to say about this? And I went right to the 9 ways that a millionaire real estate agent thinks. And page 81, think possibilities. Here's what Gary has to say. If you believe something is possible, you tend to focus on the constructive means necessary to make that possibility a reality. If you don't think something is possible, then you will be blinded to the ways it could be done. If I believe that I can take 12 listings in the first 12 weeks of 2021, then I'm going to look for the ways that it can happen. If I don't believe it'll happen, then I'm going to look for those distractions. If you don't think something is possible, then you will be blinded. You can't see it to the ways it could be done. Now, he goes on to share with Think Action, page 84. When you begin to believe your big goal, take 12 listings in the first 12 weeks. You know, I'm just going to keep repeating that over and over and over again until all of you are programmed to believe that you're going to achieve this goal. And by the way, it could be 24 listings in the first 12 weeks. It could be 36 listings in the first 12 weeks. It's whatever your goal is. When you begin to believe your goal is possible, the natural result is that you start forming plans and get more focused on making things happen. Possibility thinking must be followed by action for those possibilities to have the chance of being fully realized. When you are ready, anything short of action is just plain inappropriate. So you've spent your time creating this 135 to take 12 listings in the first 12 weeks. You've identified the priorities that you're going to use in order to achieve that goal. And you've created an action plan. You have 5 strategies that you are going to implement every day. Now it's time to get into action. When you are ready, are you ready? If you've got your 135 ready to go by January 1, after we've talked about this for a month, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so when you are ready, Camille, anything short of action is just plain inappropriate. Why would we choose not to take action? There's 2 answers to this. 2 answers.
Fear of failure.
Say it again.
Fear of failure.
Fear of failure.
Success.
Fear of success.
I have both of them.
Now, you got them both. Now, fear of success means I don't think I deserve this.
I'm working on it.
My financial thermostat is holding me back. My programming is causing me to believe that I don't deserve this. My programming leads to the way that I think. The way I think leads to the way I feel. The way I feel leads to the actions that I take. And the actions that I take lead to results. And results lead back to programming. And if I don't believe I deserve this programming, I'm having the wrong thoughts, which are going to lead to feelings. I'm going to fail anyways. I might as well not do it. So therefore, I'm not going to take the action and I'm not going to get the result, which by the way, leads back to the programming. See, I was right. I don't deserve it.
Yeah, do you think where we are in adversity is a big factor in why we do what we do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do, Camille. And we talked about this yesterday. It's looking at the waves that are crashing over our ship versus looking at the lighthouse. Adversity are the waves that are sinking your ship. The lighthouse is proof of hope. What are you looking at?
Right.
So here's what Andy Andrews has to say in The Traveler's Gift. This is what he has to say on taking action. A person who moves neither left nor right is destined for mediocrity. I don't know about you, but I'm not destined for mediocrity.
What page are you on?
So I'm actually not in The Traveler's Gift. I'm in Mastering the 7 Decisions. You like my book all torn up? I'm in Mastering the Decisions. However, if you have a copy of The Traveler's Gift, this is the active decision. So find the chapter on the active decision. A person who moves neither left nor right is destined for mediocrity. When faced with a decision, many people say they are waiting for God. I understand in most cases, God is waiting for me. Successful people make their decisions quickly and they change their minds slowly. Failures, that's his words, not mine, don't get mad at me. Failures make their decisions slowly and change their minds quickly. All right, you're on a path with a destination that is assured. You know what your goal is. Your goal is to take 12 listings in the first 12 weeks, and things get hard. Talk to me about what it would look like to change your mind quickly. How do we do that? We talked about this on yesterday's call. Just give me one example of what that looks like. I'm changing my mind quickly.
Think of the cost of not accomplishing what I set out to do.
Okay, that's the cost. Give me an example of what that looks like. What does it look like when we change our minds? I've got this.
Questions your commission.
Okay, somebody questions my commission.
And you back down and say, okay, I'll do it at 5%.
There you go. That's an example. Or I look at that strategy, that 1-3-5 that I've created, and I'm like, okay, here's my goal, 12 listings. Here's the priorities that I'm going to follow. These are the 5 strategies that I'm going to use. Now things get difficult. And programming leads to thinking. My thought is John's out of his mind. He doesn't know what he's talking about. This doesn't work. I'm going to look for a different way. I start looking for an exit. I'm on a journey with a destination that is assured. However, things got hard, so I'm looking for an exit, or I'm looking for a detour. I'm looking for greener pastures. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Successful people make their decisions quickly, and they change their minds slowly, which means once you've committed to this plan, this 1-3-5 that you've created in order to take 12 listings in the first 12 weeks of 2021, there ain't nothing that can happen that's going to cause you to change your plan, because you are on a journey with a destination that is assured. Fear no longer has a place in my life. For too long, fear has outweighed my desire to make things better for my family. Never again. I have exposed fear as a vapor, an imposter who never had any power over me in the first place. I do not fear opinion. Is everybody going to agree with you? Are you going to have dream bullies that show up and say, this ain't gonna work? You need to try something else. You will. And here's what Andy Andrews says about that. I do not fear opinion, gossip, or the idle chatter of monkeys. I love that one. For all are the same to me. I do not fear failure. For in my life, failure is a myth. Failure only exists for the person who quits, and I do not quit. I am courageous. I am a leader. I seize this moment. I choose now. Here's what I would add to that. If you're with me, awesome. Let's go. If you're not, I do not care what you think or say. All right, talk to me.
John, every business when you start in the beginning, it's hard, but it can only get easy if you keep on doing it.
Right.
100%, Eddie. 100%. And you're never going to feel like doing it until you do it. If you're waiting for motivation to show up, if you're waiting to feel like doing those activities, it ain't never going to happen. If you've made a decision that you're going to go to the gym every morning at 5 a.m. because you're going to get into better shape and you've made that commitment, that's your activity. That's part of your 1-3-5. There are going to be many, many days that you don't want to go. If you wait until you want to go, you're never going to go. However, for those of you who have done this, you know that nobody ever leaves the gym saying, wow, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Motivation always shows up after action.
Yep.
Action happens before motivation. If you don't feel like doing something, do it anyways, and then you'll feel like doing it.
And also, I think you have to get the habit. You have to change your habit. Change in a small chunk. Just change it slowly, but in small chunk. It create the routine. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We mistake discipline for habit. We look at somebody and we think they've got great discipline. Discipline is a myth. We don't create discipline. We create habits that look like discipline.
That's
And that's exactly what you just shared with us.
Don't mistake movement for achievement.
Thank you, Tara Carter. I agree. All right, I want to clarify something that I was listening to on James Shaw's call this morning. Valerie, are you on the call?
Yes, sir.
There you are. Recognize your voice. Good to see you here. And James was talking about 40 contacts a day, and he was sharing that we need to be making care calls to our database. And I couldn't agree more. I 100% agree with that. Matter of fact, I shared in the chat that the only script you need when reaching out to your database is, I was thinking about you. I wanted to check in and see, how are you doing? And how can I help? And that's the entire conversation. I'm not going to talk real estate. That's it. They know I'm a real estate agent. I don't have to ask for referrals. I am building relationships within my database. Now, listen, guys, clarity. One of the things that I share every day at the end of this call is part of our focus is to get an appointment, get a referral, or add somebody to our database. I've also shared that with every single call, the purpose of the call is to get an appointment. And I agree and I disagree. I'm disagreeing with myself, by the way. Fascinating. Every call to a for sale by owner, to an expired listing, or circle prospecting, 100%. The purpose of the call is to get an appointment or add somebody new to my database or get a referral. 100% purpose of the call. It's not to get a listing appointment. It's to get an appointment. And the reason I say that is because there are coaches in real estate who would tell you that the purpose to an expired call is to get a listing appointment. And my theory on that is that's wrong.
Relationships.
You're judging away opportunity if that's what you're doing. The purpose of the call is not to get a listing appointment. The purpose of the call is to get an appointment. Period. To get face-to-face with someone who's thinking of selling their home. so that when they say, I'm never going to list my house, you don't say, cool, next. Your response is, awesome. I want to help you sell your home. And if I had a full price offer today, would you want me to bring you the offer? Awesome. That's exactly why we should get together. Does 3 o'clock work, or would 4 be better for you? So in that situation, the purpose of the call is to get an appointment. 100%. When you're reaching out to your database, the purpose of the call is to build a relationship.
Oh, okay.
We cool on that, guys?
Yes.
Good. Valerie, how'd I do?
I think that's so awesome.
Thank you, Valerie. I appreciate that. All right, time to get to work. Oh, I'm waiting for you guys to take over one day. What is work? Work
What-
is 20 conversations, not 17, not 18, not 19 conversations, because when you settle for 17 because it's close enough, you don't have the 18th conversation that could have led to $1 million listing, and you didn't get the listing because you didn't make the call. And the hardest part about the saddest part about that is you don't even know that you didn't get the listing because you didn't make the call. And you've told yourself you'll make up for it tomorrow, and you won't. Now, with every conversation, make care calls, not sale calls. Always lead with gratitude, always bring value to every single conversation. Now I'm going to change my end of call script here. When talking to a for sale by owner or to an expired listing, the purpose of the call is to get an appointment, period. Find somebody today that is thinking of buying a home or selling a home. Get face-to-face with someone today that is thinking of buying a home or selling a home. And because you're going to work 50 weeks, 5 days a week, you're going to be face-to-face with 250 people over the next 12 months. That's 250 opportunities that are in your pipeline that you are going to follow up with forever, because you reject rejection, and no is not a word that lives in your vocabulary. No simply means not yet. And you're creating emotional proximity because you're staying in touch with people, because you're following up forever. And eventually they're going to make a new decision based on new information, which is going to be to hire
With you.
you. All right, everybody, make it a great day.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
John.
Thanks for pumping me up for my day.
Go get them,
Yes.
Paige. Go get them. Keep working on those 135s, guys. Keep working on them. John
Bye.
Dietz at kw.com if you want to send me a copy of your 135. I'd love to have that. All right, everybody, make it a great day.
Thank you.